But we're going to concentrate on the question, are Man City boring to watch? Now, what happens is we have a meeting at 2:30. I'm in it, obviously, producer Joe's in it, Charlie was in it, a few of the other boys in it, and we go through what we're going to talk about on the show. And sometimes a subject will come up and we'll go, no, we don't want to do that. And then we move on and then we discuss it, and that's how we put the show together. In today's meeting, producer Joe says, yeah, what we do at 5, we're asked why Man City are boring. And I went, well, they're not. They're not boring. And Charlie went, no, they're not. And I went, it pains me to say it, but I quite enjoy watching City play at the moment. And you said the same, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Producer Joe's in the studio said, no, they're boring. And I said, well, if you want to come on Astro Radio, Joe, and say that, you can, but we'll take calls on it because I don't think many people will say Man City are boring to watch. Hi, producer Joe.
Hello. First of all, I'd like to say that was a misquote.
Was it a misquote, Charlie? You were there.
I'd say it's taken out of context.
Was it taken out of context? You were there, Charlie. Have I misquoted him?
Charlie.
It was good journalism.
My thing is, so I read a tweet.
Thanks, by the way. That's never been said.
Watford lost 3-1 to Man City.
Do you think Man City are boring to watch?
I will tell you in 1 second.
No, but yes or no? Just a yes or no.
Can be. Not all the time.
Sitting on the fence.
Yeah, no, but not all the time.
Yeah. Why have you gone scared? What's the matter with you?
No, my point is, right, so I saw a tweet, first of all, Watford Talk on Twitter. They said, this genuinely isn't sour grapes, but does anyone else find Man City to be the most boring of the elite teams in Europe? Just incredibly well drilled and pass teams to death before cutting it back and scoring from 6 yards 3 times a game. Now, there's a point to that, right? And my point is, you know when you watch them and they'll go 50 passes and keep the ball and it's at the back, it's in the middle, it's at the back, it's in the middle. It gets boring. Sometimes you pick your phone up and you look at your phone.
Do you think this?
Yeah, but they are ferocious when they get into that final third.
Do you think City are boring to watch? Do you pick your phone up when they're attacking?
Can be, yeah, and I have done. If you ask me who I would rather watch out of Liverpool, Chelsea and Man City as a complete neutral,
yeah,
I'm going to take Liverpool.
Okay, well, I get the Liverpool, but it's close. What about Chelsea or Man City?
Chelsea.
But
what I would say is Man City are going to win the league, so whatever it is brilliant. Pep's a genius.
Right. Do you think Man City are boring to watch at times?
Yes.
Okay, get out.
Thank you.
Producer Joe. Well, I don't think... Thanks, Producer Joe. By the way, if anyone wants to produce a show from tomorrow, there's a job going. It pains me to say I'm a United fan, right? Yeah. But I'm just going to be honest. The way Man City play football, the way they keep the ball, the way they spray it about, you got players like Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Raheem Sterling, Jack Grealish, Phil Foden, my goodness. I mean, the list is endless. I can't understand why anyone would think they're boring to watch. Do you think people listening to this, if they're not Man City fans, would feel the same as all the Watford fans that Joe just mentioned and producer Joe as well? Do you think that?
The way Man City play is exceptional. You'd want your club to emulate what they're doing, no? The way they keep the ball and make teams work off it is great, and then the openings come and they punish you. So it's all right saying they go down the wing and cut it back 6 yards out and score. That's because they've created the opening and the goal happens.
Why would Watford fans then? Because there'd be Watford fans listening to it. Is it sour grapes, do you think?
I don't know. It's frustration more than anything.
Right.
But if you look at it, how many teams do we see that new manager comes and say, right, we're going to do this high press. Man United, new manager, high press, going to do this, going to do that. Pep comes in and says, this is how we're going to play. That's pass. I'm going to pass teams to death and win games of football. Teams don't come, new managers don't come and say, oh, actually, we're going to try and pass the ball. We're going to try and copy Man City. No, everyone wants to do this high press. Pep just seems to do it differently, better than everybody else. Passes the ball, frustrates teams, and ultimately, in the final third, they're devastating.
See, when we saw them against PSG, that game was phenomenal, wasn't it? I mean, it was end-to-end. It was like a basketball match.
Yeah.
I just can't... I've never watched a Man City. So there are other sides in the Premier League, and I really don't want to back up Man City, but I'm going to be honest... I think they're a joy to watch. They've got so many skillful players. And what it is and what they do, the way they keep hold of the ball, that's not an easy thing to do.
That's a skill, mate.
Yeah.
Everyone can run around and high press and all that, but the way they keep the ball and frustrate teams, I can see why opposition fans will get annoyed with it. But ultimately, Man City they're deadly. When they got the ball, mate, they make opposition teams work so hard. And then when they get in the final third, they got the players to win games of football. Right, now
you're a Liverpool fan, right?
Yeah.
And you agree that Man City are good to watch.
Yeah.
Right? I'm a United fan, so I, in theory, should hate Manchester City and the way they play. But I'm being honest, the way they play is a joy to watch.
Yeah.
Let's speak to Lee's a Leeds United fan. Hello, Lee.
Hi, Lloyd. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm very well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. As soon as you asked that question, it just kind of made sense to me, because me and my mate were talking about this at work, and they are boring, but they're really, really good, and it's hard to call them boring. It's like 1 in every 5-6 games they'll just pump a team 5-6-0, and it's great to watch. But the other 4, especially if they're playing like bottom half teams in the Premier League, the Burnleys, the Watfords, the Newcastles, they just kind of knock the ball round the back, and then those teams don't really want to come out and press them in case they get caught, and it just goes round and round and round. You think you can do something, and they just win 1-0, 2-0.
But it's tough. It's tough to break down 10, 11 men behind the ball. If they're playing against a bottom half team and they're saying, right, we're not going to get beat by Man City 4 or 5, we're going to sit in and see if we can hit them on the break. Man City just pass the ball, like you say, back to front, left to right, and try and create the opening. If it's not there, it's not there. But that's not Man City's fault. The way they keep the ball that's on the opposition team to try and get the ball back. For me, I just think they're great to watch. I think every football fan would want them to have that style of football at their club. I really do.
Oh, I would love it if Leeds played like that and won every week rather than being reckless and whatnot. Yeah. But the point is, the dynamic of Manchester City having to break down 10 men and the 10 men not really wanting to result in all this passing round front and back, side to side. Ergo, it makes it a bit boring.
Is boring the right word? I don't think it is. Is it not frustrating? If they're playing your side, is it not frustrating you can't get the ball off them? I mean, is it not a joy to watch when a team can play like that?
It depends who they're playing, I think. Like, sometimes, I mean, I watch the football every weekend. Saturday morning game, BT Sport. Evening Sky game, both games on a Sunday every week. But when it's Man City, like, it was Man City Watford on Saturday, I just thought, it's just going to be one of them games. Whereas when it's Liverpool, for example, they just go for it. It's full on 100%, 90 minutes every game, and I think they've scored 10, 15 goals more than Man City this season, and it's like Man City.
That's two different style of play, Lee.
Yeah,
due respect. I think there's two different styles. I know they're both winning games of football, but there's two different styles. Comparing Liverpool and Man City together.
Who's top of the league, Lee?
Well, yeah, City by a point. I mean, it's close, isn't it? But I mean, how often do Man City go 2-0 up? And it's brilliant. You can't fault it. Their game management and their results, but so often that they just go 2-0 up and then they just see the game out, which is great. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's difficult to call it boring, but if they're 2-0 up against, I don't know, a Watford with half hour left, you're thinking they're just going to play this out. They might get another. They might not. Watford aren't going to try it. The game's done with half an hour left, whereas if it's Everton playing Villa and Villa's 2 up, you think, if Everton get one back here, it's game on, but you just know it's done already.
So you are saying Man City are boring to watch, right?
They can be at times, yes. Okay. Right. I mean, when they're playing a top team and it's, when they're playing Liverpool, when they played Chelsea this season, they were brilliant. It was only 1-0, but they were playing off the park. It was super. I think it's more when they're playing the lesser teams and they just go there, do a job, and they do a great job. But I think I'm a bit neutral to Man City. I have no strong feelings for or against.
Either way, but you're saying to watch them, they're a little bit boring, is what the Leeds fans saying. Listen, I feel dirty even backing Man City here.
No, I'm going to sit out of this one. You've got to hold your hands up and say, do you know what?
I'm doing that. That's what I'm doing. I don't feel good about it, Charlie, I'll be honest.
They play some great football. Yes, they go 2-0 up, and they might, some games they go and kill teams off 3, 4, 5, 6. Other times, the other teams just go, right, that's not happening to us. We're shutting up shop.
That's right, and they sit back.
So, all right, no problem. We'll shut up shop, and we'll have 500 passes. And that's what Man City do to teams.